It's Ken Royal here for the Royal Treatment at Scholastic, and today I have an educator as well as a writer of technology out of Chicago. His name is Chris Riedel, and I'm going to ask Chris just a couple of questions about where he sees technology going. And right now we're using Skype to talk and have a conference. He's in Chicago, I'm in Connecticut, and I want to find out what he thinks about this as a possibility for education in the education field. Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the use of Skype for education, it holds a lot of interesting possibilities. I think, you know, the fact that, first of all, the technology itself is sort of more in the mainstream, and then the barrier to entry in terms of the technology that you need to use it, the availability of broadband, the ubiquitous nature of webcams makes it fairly easy for teachers to implement this, not only for, as we were talking before, not only for distance learning opportunities, but also as ways to, you know, get kids to collaborate, ways to extend the school day, you know, potentially even ways to get kids who maybe are homebound and can't interact in a classroom on a regular basis to actually be a part of classroom activities.
So, Chris, I see this as a way to get people doing conferencing with really putting no money down to do it. They would need maybe a couple of computers, and the computers today, we're talking, you know, I'm looking at a Mac here, and I don't know what you're looking at, but you're using a 1.3 megapixel camera on that computer for the most part, and
Right.
You're getting some pretty great quality images and video.
Oh,
So,
yeah, I mean,
so
no, go ahead.
no. So how do you see that playing in a classroom, for instance?
Well, I mean, I think, you know, the fact that the technology is out there and the kids have access to it and can use it, I think, you know, as far as playing out in the classroom, there's probably a wide variety of ways that teachers can utilize the fact that they have access to, you know, decent images, they have access to the broadband. You know, one way, just sort of off the top of my head, this is a great way for kids to interact with, you know, learners from around the world or around the country in remote locations that they couldn't otherwise get to. You know, you could do virtual field trips. I mean, I think that the possibilities are limitless with the fact that there is such relatively easy access to, you know, high quality images and, you know, high enough bandwidth that you can actually do this and make it realistic.
You know, I have to tell you, Chris, that, you know, when I was doing this way back when in the early '90s, that was like 28.8 modem speed, and getting up in the middle of the night and talking to people in Australia because I couldn't find anybody in this country to talk with me doing this. We were using all kinds of crazy software to do it, and I think we invented the phrase, "Can you hear me now?" This is not that way any longer. It pretty much is. You plug it in, you get started, and you can talk to anybody. And actually, you know, this conversation we're having, which I'm taping, is pretty much happening all around the world today.
Right. Well, I mean, I think, you know, the beauty of it is the conversation is instantaneous. It's very similar to having a conversation on the telephone. You know, you can interact, you can see one another. I think, you know, that definitely makes it a little more appealing, and it is happening all around the world.
So I need to ask you a question before I let you go. Where are you calling from? Where are you Skyping from today?
I'm actually in a Starbucks right now.
So here's my point. I'm talking to Chris from home over my internet and my wireless. He's talking to me from Starbucks. We can kind of hear the music in the background, the clinking going on, enjoying a cup of coffee probably. And so this really can be done anywhere.
Well, it can, and I think, you know, one of the other things that probably needs to be touched on is it can be done anywhere for free. We're not paying for this phone call. I mean, insofar as we're paying for the internet access, we're talking to each other via video for nothing because you have Skype and I have Skype and we both have the webcams.
All right, let's not say it too loudly because that software I used when I was first doing this, Chris, it was called Phone Free, and right after people got a hang of that, they started charging for it.
I gotcha. Maybe that's why it's called Skype and not anything with free in the name.
Chris, I really appreciate you talking to me today, and I appreciate you doing this a Skype interview with me. And I know we're going to talk with I'm going to talk with you more about the top possibilities of internet and also instructional technology that you see coming up. I think you're a good technology writer, and you also really are on the cutting edge of what's happening out there as well. So,
well, I appreciate it.
All right, take care and thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Ken.
All right, bye, Chris.
Bye-bye.
That was Chris Riedel speaking to me from Chicago, and I'm Ken Royal for the Royal Treatment at Scholastic.